D.Kabalevsky Op.27 number 3 Etude. So this opus, it's a very popular and interesting work from Kabalevsky. So there is 30 pieces for children. So this one, it's a very interesting piece to work the fluence with the right hand, and also specifically articulation in the left hand. So this is in A minor, so it's important to know the A minor scale. I recommend to know all the modes, so also the harmonic, and the melodic. Okay, so the pattern is very simple. Let's take a look at the right hand first measure. So I recommend since the beginning you establish the rhythm every 4 notes, the 16th notes, or the groups of 16th notes. That's very important. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So the natural accentuation is very important here. Counting 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I would practice this first pattern many times, and then you have the first and second measure covered, learning the first measure. The next pattern, we go all the way up with the scale and then backwards. When you get here, you have this G sharp, and then we start the same pattern from the beginning. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So then after this, on measure 5, we're gonna have this. Okay, so before we put everything together, let's talk about the left hand. So we have this. Basically, he's connecting the left hand every 2 notes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. And he's gonna do this throughout the first 4 measures. Then in the measure number 5, we have a change here. It's gonna be. Okay, so a very common mistake here is trying to do this, moving your hand like this. This is not good at all. So I recommend you to go inside here, the G sharp and E. It's gonna, at the beginning, it's gonna look a little bit far, but it's not. It's totally possible as long as you move your hand more inside. Okay, so then on measure number 6, we have this. Okay, and the right hand does 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 the first thing is the rhythm. He's exploring the offbeats here, so it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Another very important thing here is the fingering. We do 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This way, we are in the position when we have this. Let's see how it sounds both hands together. This measure, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And one more time. 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, so now let's go back to the first measure and put it together slowly. 3 and 4. So, how do I think different articulation in my hands, between my hands? While I have all legato here, I have this here, every two notes. So I like to think this as gestures. If you see, there's a specific gesture for my left hand. While my right hand, it's all one single gesture. So basically here I have one single gesture, and here I have one new gesture every two notes, every other note. So this is the best way to think. Now, if you are putting this together and you're having trouble, I recommend you to do only this first. Then do this. And then. And then you can stop, and the next. Then you can start from here. One more time. One more time. The whole measure. The same for the third and fourth measure. Now, we have a B section that goes to B flat major. So here the fingering is very important. We have this. This movement requires a lot of practice. It's kind of simple, but at the same time, because of the black keys, you will see that it requires really a lot of practice. So I would just start slow. And try to be even and precise with the rhythm and the natural situation, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're gonna repeat this many times. The left hand here is pretty much the same idea with different notes. Together. One more time. And I recommend the same idea you can do by chunks, like, and then okay. Now we have the next two measures, which in general is a challenge for the students. But I honestly think these two measures are easier than this. Basically here we're gonna be in the same scale, but now we go farther. So let's first learn this movement. Look. So my first advice here is use your finger 3 for E flat and 4 for B flat. When you go backwards, it's gonna be this: 4, 3, 4, 3, 4. Let's see. Three, 4. Three, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this it's very important. I really recommend you to practice enough so you are able to count the beats at the same time you play. You will need this. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's important to know which exactly notes you have at the head of each beat. So another very important thing here is the left hand has different articulation throughout these two measures. So we start with this, which is the same articulation we had so far. So it's not going to be a big deal. Make sure you do the correct articulation. Then we have this section with staccato. One more time. Counting 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Together. Now, how to put this together and keep the same articulation? So, I recommend doing the same process we did before, by chunks, for example. So, first put together the first 3 beats, which is the same articulation we had so far. Then, we're gonna start from here. And then, one more time. That my left hand has a different gesture for each of the staccato notes. The whole phrase, 3 and 4. has this idea of crescendo always. So we are growing all the time. That's why it's important to start a little bit less so you have room to grow. One more time. 3, 4. Slow. 3, 4. So then, after that, we just have the same gesture from the beginning. Then, after that, we're gonna have this again. And finally, we have this big scale. So, it's a very simple fingering. It's gonna be always 1, 2, 3, 4, pass finger 1, 2, 3, 4, pass finger 1. So that's it. 4 times. 4 octaves. Now, it's very easy to start rushing in this scale. So I really recommend you to use the metronome and practice this first very slow. The important thing here is how you place your hand after doing the turn. So, see, when I put my finger 1, I have to move the other fingers as soon as possible so I can keep the movement steady and fluently, like this. Look, I do the scale slow, but I do the movement fast. This movement. One very good exercise here, it's this. Always stop after the turns. Then you can do bigger parts like and that way on until you get fluent to do the whole scale. The left hand in the first measure, so we have this for 2 measures. In the first measure we have. So the counting is 1, 2, and 3, 4, and then the next measure it's gonna be just 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Both hands together. 3 and 4 and 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Then we have the final, which is. So when you start learning this, you're probably gonna find weird. And he wrote a very interesting cadence here to finish the song. So, I recommend you to do separate hands first. So, let's do the first chord. This fingering is good. Finger 2 and finger 5. Moving to finger 1 and finger 3. And then 2 and 5 again. And then 1 and 3 again. So, basically it's the same fingering combination twice. 2 and 5. 1 and 3. 2 and 5. 1 and 3. Repeat this. The left hand, we have this. So we have 5 and 1, 4 and 1, 5 and 2, and then 1 and 3. One more time. 3, 4 and 1. let's see how it sounds together. And 4 and 1, 2, 4, 1. And he does put pedal, so this, it's important you switch the pedal right after playing the chord, like play the chord, switch, play, switch, play, switch. It's a movement like this, quick movement switching the pedal.